we were out on the veldt, fighting the Boer, the way he fought us.
You're not gonna kill me, Sergeant. I don't know what you're gonna do to me, but you're not gonna kill me.
What if I told you the most gripping war movies aren't the famous ones? These 10 films were ignored, forgotten, or even buried. But inside are real battles, secret missions, and true events that will blow your mind. Some made actors famous overnight, others ruined careers. And number one, it's the kind of film that could have gotten its director arrested in another country. Here are 10 underrated war films Hollywood won't put on a pedestal, but you'll never forget them. Let's start with number 10, Tigerland 2000. In 1971, the real Tigerland, Fort Polk, Louisiana, was nicknamed the last stop before hell by soldiers. Why? Because statistically, many who trained there had less than a 1 in 3 chance of making it through their Vietnam tour unharmed. Joel Schumacher's Tigerland recreates this purgatory without ever leaving the US. And here's the twist. All the Louisiana swamp humidity you see, it was actually filmed in Florida. Colin Farrell, then unknown, reportedly never broke character on set, even mouthing off to the crew like his rebellious Pete Roland Boz. The Army drills, they're based word for word on 1970 U.S. Infantry Training Command manuals, right down to the swearing cadence calls. Weirdest fact, a few veterans who saw the film said they could smell Tigerland through the screen because the set stank of mud, mildew, and sweat. No fake movie rain here. It was real Florida stormwater. It bombed at the box office, but today, it's a cult favorite for showing war's first battlefield. The Mind. Let's move on to number 9, Zulu, 1964. The real Battle of Rorke's Drift in January 1879 pitted just 150 British and colonial troops against roughly 4,000 Zulu warriors. And somehow the British held their ground for over 12 hours. Zulu recreates this with 2,000 extras in traditional dress, many actual descendants of the fighters. The film marked Michael Caine's first major role, even though he was 6 inches too tall for his posh officer character and had to learn the accent on set. Shooting in KwaZulu-Natal meant constant dust storms and snakes slithering into the camp. In a strange twist, the movie's premiere in South Africa became a propaganda tool for the apartheid government, despite its effort to humanize both sides. Zulu elders reportedly insisted the war chants in the film be performed exactly as in 1879, so every rhythm and shout is authentic. The battle scenes were choreographed like a dance, with hundreds of spears timed to camera cues, making it one of the most visually coordinated war sequences ever filmed. Next is number 8, Breaker Morant, 1980. This Boer War drama dives into the 1902 trial of 3 Australian lieutenants accused of executing prisoners under orders. The real court-martial lasted 6 weeks, with transcripts running over 1,000 pages, and was one of the earliest major war crimes trials, and history director Bruce Beresford insisted on filming in remote South Australia to mimic the desolate Transvaal veldt, with the crew battling 45 degrees Celsius heat. Edward Woodward's portrayal of Harry Breaker Morant is so accurate that some South African historians now use the film as a teaching tool in ethics courses. The title comes from Morant's pre-war fame as a bush poet and horseman. Weirdly, his own poetry is woven into the dialogue. Some lines you hear were written decades earlier in real life. The uniforms, buttons, and even the trial desks were replicas built from archival photographs. The film challenges the follow orders defense, showing how political pressure can outweigh fairness in military justice. Coming in at number 7, Lifeboat, 1944. Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat might be his most claustrophobic experiment. Every frame takes place in a single lifeboat adrift in the Atlantic after a German U-boat attack. The story came from a John Steinbeck novella, though Steinbeck later disliked how Hollywood softened his social commentary. The cast had to endure weeks in an actual water tank at Fox Studios, where actors like Tallulah Bankhead refused to wear underwear during filming. Crew later confirmed this in interviews, causing a 1940s mini-scandal. Walter Slezak's German character sparked real controversy because some critics felt Hitchcock made him too sympathetic during wartime. Every costume and prop was soaked daily, so continuity matched between takes. Actors were often shivering by the end of the day. The cramped camera work required custom-built floating rigs, a technical feat for 1944. Despite these efforts, the film was banned in some Allied countries for humanizing the enemy, which ironically helped make it a cult curiosity decades later. Now for number 6, The Eagle Has Landed, 1976. Based on Jack Higgins' best-selling novel, this fictional what-if story imagines an elite Nazi paratrooper unit infiltrating an English village to kidnap Winston Churchill. Michael Caine, playing Colonel Steiner, insisted on wearing authentic World War II-era German paratrooper boots, even though they were 2 sizes too small, leaving him limping between takes. Donald Sutherland's role as the charming Irish saboteur, Liam Devlin, drew on real-life IRA members who worked with the Germans during the war. Filming took place in Norfolk, England, with a fully constructed fake village, complete with a working watermill, that fooled some locals into thinking a wartime reenactment was underway. The movie also featured 2 full-scale replica Junkers Ju-52 planes, which had to be specially flown in from France. Oddly, it's one of the few war films to portray Germans as capable and professional without glorifying Nazi ideology, which made it controversial in both the UK and US upon release. Next up is number 5, A Midnight Clear, 1992. Inspired by true events in William Morton's novel, this film centers on an American intelligence unit in the Ardennes who stumble into a fragile truce with German soldiers during Christmas, 1944. The real Battle of the Bulge saw temperatures plunge to -20 degrees Celsius, and the production mirrored this by filming in Utah's snowy backcountry. Cast members like Ethan Hawke and Gary Sinise endured frostbite-level cold. The film's haunting twist, a deadly firefight caused by misunderstanding, echoes the true ghost battles of World War II, where language barriers and paranoia turned near peace into slaughter. To achieve realism, director Keith Gordon hired military advisors who drilled the cast in World War II-era weapons and hand signals, forbidding modern slang on set. Despite glowing reviews, the film flopped at the box office, partly because its marketing clashed with its intimate, tragic tone. It has since become a Christmas cult favorite for war history buffs who appreciate its melancholy truth. Let's move to number 4, The Year of Living Dangerously, 1982. Set against the violent backdrop of Indonesia's 1965 coup, Peter Weir's film follows journalist Guy Hamilton, Mel Gibson, and British attaché Jill Bryant, Sigourney Weaver, as they navigate love and political chaos. The movie's heart, though, belongs to Linda Hunt's portrayal of Billy Kwan, a role for which she became the only actress to win an Oscar for playing a man. Because Indonesia refused filming permission, the crew recreated Jakarta in Manila, Philippines, complete with 200 street vendors and political graffiti copied from real archival photos. The coup scenes were inspired by actual footage smuggled out by foreign correspondents, some of whom risked execution. Mel Gibson reportedly spent weeks shadowing Australian war reporters to mimic their posture, lingo, and risk-taking instincts. At one point, extras rioted for real after a prop truck accidentally caught fire. Footage of the chaos was used in the final cut, blurring the line between staged and actual unrest. Now for number 3, A Hidden Life, 2019. Terrence Malick's film tells the remarkable true story of Franz Jägerstätter, a devout Austrian farmer who, in 1943, refused to swear loyalty to Adolf Hitler, a decision that cost him his life. While many Austrians saw the oath as a mere formality, Jägerstätter viewed it as a moral betrayal. He was executed by guillotine at Berlin's Brandenburg prison on August 9, 1943, leaving behind his wife and 3 daughters. Malick shot the film in the exact Austrian mountain village where Franz lived, using locals as extras and incorporating authentic farming tools from the 1940s. Every letter Franz sent from prison is quoted verbatim in the script. The runtime is a hefty 180 minutes, mirroring the slow, contemplative pace of rural life and moral resistance. Although ignored by major awards, the film's cinematography used only natural light, creating visuals reminiscent of oil paintings. It's both a war story and a spiritual parable, a rare combination in modern cinema. Next is 2. The Caine Mutiny, 1954. Adapted from Herman Wouk's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, this film follows a Weihumor naval crew who doubt the mental stability of their captain, Lieutenant Commander Philip Francis Queeg, played with chilling precision by Humphrey Bogart. Bogart's performance, complete with nervous tics and paranoia, earned him one of his final Oscar nominations. The story draws from real incidents in the U.S. Navy during World War II, where stress, fatigue, and isolation at sea led to questionable command decisions. Filmed aboard actual Navy destroyers, the production used real combat footage spliced with studio scenes to heighten authenticity. The famous Strawberry Incident, in which Queeg obsessively hunts down missing frozen strawberries, became a cultural shorthand for paranoid leadership. Interestingly, the Navy at first resisted cooperation, fearing negative portrayal, but later embraced the film, seeing it as a cautionary tale on leadership responsibility. It remains one of the best military courtroom dramas ever made. And finally, number 1, Ashes and Diamonds, 1958. Directed by Andrzej Wajda, this Polish masterpiece is set on May 8, 1945, the very day World War II ended in Europe. It follows resistance fighter Maciej Chomicki, tasked with assassinating a communist leader, but on the day of victory, he falls in love. The moral conflict between love and political duty drives the film's tension. Shot in stark black and white, its imagery became iconic. Maciej lighting drinks on fire to honor fallen comrades mirrors Poland's burning political future. The film subtly critiques Soviet influence at a time when Poland was under communist control, an incredibly risky move. Its lead, Zbigniew Cybulski, was dubbed the Polish James Dean for his rebellious charisma, and his tragic real-life death in a train accident at age 39 cemented the film's legend. Despite its limited release in the West, it heavily influenced political cinema, from the Battle of Algiers to Scorsese's early work. Thanks for watching. If you loved uncovering these hidden war film gems, check out our other deep dives into forgotten cinema. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story history tried to hide.